Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Benny Truenut, and welcome back to Medieval 2 Total War, where you join us here in a world where, well, we thought everything belonged to Denmark, everything was red and all of our enemies had been destroyed. Then we came over here and suddenly found that the land is mysteriously blue, with a strange shield that we don't quite recognise. And today, having finally found safe anchorage, we can drop off the mightiest of all units, the Catalans.
It seems the New World is already dominated by an ancient culture, the Aztecs. For a seemingly simple people, their cities are vast and complicated. Their primitive outlook belies their ability to raise vast stone structures that rival anything the Old World has to offer. And if gold is the measure of an empire's might, then the Aztecs are formidable indeed.
They are, and the Aztecs are really damn cool in general. Their cities are beautiful. So yes, here we go, an Aztec City. Ah, lovely. Stone wall, but they've got their own unique culture. They've got their own unique everything. If you've never seen these guys before, they are so damn cool. They're so damn cool. You can see that though they actually use kind of this asset right here, it looks a lot cooler than that. They've got their own unique units in the form of the Eagle Warriors and loads of other stuff as well. They've got their own unique assets on the campaign map. They've got this unique kind of pyramid structure. And obviously we're not going to go and attack them with just a single unit of Catalans. That would be kind of mad. But it might be nice to just go and have a little look-see. Just kind of go and have a little poke. See what they've got going on here. No, sadly, we can't see any more. We're going to need to bring some agents in. But just look at this area here. It's got gold. It's got itself tobacco, more tobacco, and some dyes. Like, all of these territories are super flipping worth taking. They're worth a lot of money. And it's just absolutely lovely. Still, where are the other... Ah, here we are. Here's an actual army. Marvellous. In fact, I believe, actually, this is our... Yes, this is our faction leader. At some point, news will reach him that we've managed to, like, win and whatever. So, just head along here, and... yes, I think momentarily we should hopefully find a city to go and actually chill out in. We'll see about that. Nothing just yet. And yeah, these guys can also just keep going on their way. Yeah, because of the whole situation with movement points, by the way, I should have actually made this explicit in an earlier part. Say, crossing from France, like, directly over to here is incredibly slow and inefficient. Because obviously you get your movement points back when you're close by to shore, the best thing you can really do is kind of cross from Ireland over towards kind of Cuba. That's kind of like the shortest and most efficient crossing, I think. Though crossing from Portugal down towards the area down here we haven't actually got to yet, that's not too bad either. So I'm just going to keep this guy moving in that direction, and we'll get there sooner or later. And what's this we found over here? Caribbean, marvellous, and our first actual look at the style of the local buildings. Because, well, technically, there's no local buildings here, but, like, this is deemed to be, like, actually, it's kind of weird. It's just kind of deemed to be its own unique kind of style. You can see there from how it's built, it's kind of like a pyramid. They have pyramids in the Caribbean. Were the Aztecs ever particularly active on sea heading over there? I don't know. Anyway, let's go and have a little look-see what we got going on here, because this is our first little chance to see actual, you know, the relevant culture and architecture and all of that business, which is very, very cool indeed. So, in we go to the town of Caribbean, which is marvellous, and you see here it's got its own unique assets and everything, and he's actually got himself some native archers who are not great, to be honest. Like, that's the interesting about the Aztecs. Like, they don't have elite soldiers. What they've got are numerous bloody soldiers. There's a lot of them. So native archers are pretty basic, really. Appalling defense. Missile attacks only 5. They do have flaming missiles, but other than that, it's nothing desperately exciting. The one interesting thing of note about them is, yeah, with a melee attack of 6, in a melee, they can do a competent job offensively, even though with that defensive 1, they'll be torn to shreds pretty quickly. Native warriors, similar sort of thing, really. Defense only 6, nothing special related to their morale or anything. Attack of 8 with a charge bonus of 2 is adequate, but nothing special. And even though they are technically armed with axes, they do not actually have armor piercing because it's just a stone axe. But still, kind of cool to see these guys. So let's get down there and take this over, though I think we are going to win this one, actually. And check out the brand new unique village assets, because yeah, all the architecture is unique. There's kind of new unique stuff here, and it's got its own little kind of kind of mini pyramid temple thing. There's also unique music for any fights that occur in the New World. There's a lot of effort went into this, which makes it such a shame it doesn't really get used. Like, I think this is one of the big things that went wrong with Medieval 2, which is, well, rather, like, it was an amazing thing that happened too late in the game. Like, really thinking about it, I probably should have modded it so it triggered early, because you can see where they were going with the actual campaign, just in terms of, you know, the New World, which is, you know, it becomes available, and it's really valuable. So it's like supposed to be a race where, like, you know, Spain and England and France and Portugal all kind of, you know, rush to establish colonies over there, and then they're fighting each other, but they also have to fight off the Aztecs and diddly-diddly-dee. And that's really cool, but it never happens, because by the time the New World becomes available, one power in Europe is almost always so completely 100% dominant, it's just irrelevant at that point, and you can just basically saunter over here. And it's really fun, because it's cool and unique. It's just kind of, it would be lovely if it worked like it was supposed to, where it was actually a proper scramble by European powers to secure the local area and kind of exploit it in order to fund wars at home, but it just never works out that way, which is such a shame. Anyway, speak of the devil, may as well just start firing at will, including with some nice explosive ammunition, because good news, guys, we brought gunpowder. So good luck with your bows and your stone axes and all of that. Very good luck indeed. We'll see kind of, you know, which approach does better. And the answer turned out, unfortunately, to be gunpowder. Gunpowder turned out to be the answer. Right, so they're basically responding at this point because they're not thrilled about anything. I've got my longbow guys here who have got better range than any of these lads, and then I've also got my actual gunners ready to move up here. So you guys feel free to just basically move into position and take a pot shot at anything that comes anywhere near you. But we've got the cannons continuing to lay down some fire. Looks like those guys... these guys are actually coming up this road right here, which is just fine. So you guys into position, please. The longbow guys are starting to actually get a very light shot in. Yep, we're getting some light shots in there. And these guys with their defense of only a little bit, they will be torn apart by any form of indirect fire. So indirect fire is very, very powerful in the New World because these guys tend to be numerous, hit pretty hard, but defensive ability is not really their strong suit. And I'm also just going to have the music up a little bit louder than I'd normally have it just for a minute because, yeah, just take advantage of the fact that we really do have some nice, unique music here. So there we go. That's the new music, and I'd say it's pretty damn cool. It's nice, unique music, unique architecture, completely new, radically different unit roster from what you're kind of used to dealing with. It's just really, really damn cool. There's so much I like here. It's just such a shame it shows up so late in the game. By the way, we also brought guns, so that was probably also a good idea on our parts. And send my own gunners forwards. You don't really need this many gunners. It just kind of felt appropriate as, you know, a European power heading over to the New World to establish colonies and whatever. It felt appropriate to bring a very large amount of gunpowder. It just kind of felt like the sort of thing you ought to do. So here we are. My gunners are now ready to go. And in goes the shot. And yeah, these guys, even though the game never really kind of draws attention to it much, they do actually basically form ranks, which is kind of cool. So like the front row fires, and then the guys behind them fire, and then they fall back. And yeah, it just basically forms a nice little row here. And then the guys at the back genuinely do actually... Guys, are you okay? Because I didn't tell you to do any of that. And then the guys at the back actually reload and then re-enter the queue, which I think is really, really damn cool. This does, of course, mean if you want to maximize the amount you're firing with these guys, you do really ideally want to kind of have them spread fairly wide, because then the amount of guys that are firing simultaneously in a single volley is greater. So looks like we've already, I think we've actually pretty much set fire to most of the village already. Some of this is supposed to be there, like that's just as it should be. That, less so. That's just slightly inaccurate cannon fire. And in come the archers, who are actually trying to fire at us, but we're getting some good shots in at them too. And as you can see, they're barely doing a thing to us at this point, and they've backed off, lovely. And as we send in the Danish king to finish this off hand to hand, you might be wondering, well, okay, why exactly is this, you know, in any way a challenge? Because these guys seem to be badly armoured, not hitting particularly hard, etc, etc. The problem you've got is, once you actually get troops damaged over in the New World, it's pretty much impossible to repair them. Because this, of course, is before the era of just troops regenerating or anything like that. This is the era when if you want a troop to be retrained, you actually had to have the relevant production facility actually there. Now, pretty much everything you're going to come across in the New World is going to be horrendously underdeveloped. So as a result, what you've got out there is just what you've got. That's why you want to bring a huge, huge amount of indirect fire in a perfect world. Plenty of cannons, plenty of gunners, plenty of long-range archers. Which is why actually I think England has a really, really easy go of it. Because they can basically just take along like some billmen and heavy knights, but like, you know, 12 to 14 units of long-range archers just as a beautiful, beautiful job. So good, in fact, I decided to bring along 2 units of longbowmen just as mercenaries, because they're damn good. So, down go the locals, and the Caribbean belongs to us. Marvellous. Now, let's see, there's going to be about 2,000, a little bit over here. I'll do a tiny bit of massacring, but not much. But yeah, they're not desperately happy. Okay, if we lower the taxes, however, they're fine. Population is still at 1,788, which will do. And obviously you want these places to be towns, not castles, really, because they're so valuable, you want them to be trading as soon as possible. Which is another problem, of course, because obviously, well, depending on what you've brought over, you might be depending quite heavily on castle troops to actually do the damage against these guys, because castle troops are the best. But you don't really want castles, you really want towns. So let's actually get this place upgraded. And good old King Haflidy has managed to... He's only 2 out of 10. He should really be doing better. He's literally leading a successful invasion of America right now. I feel like he should be doing a better job than what he's doing. Still, never mind. Let's also just quickly send the ship up here. Because I think if we just go scouting, we might well find a little bit more that's interesting in this part of the world. But I think you can actually see if I just kind of lay out the please follow this route for this ship here. Like, this is why ideally you really want to travel from Ireland over to Cuba. Like, this tiny bit of space here is a single turn. But once you actually get over to Cuba, you can move all this territory right flipping here just in one go, which is a lot easier to do. Right, new turn. Down south if we're lucky. Ooh! Down south we have indeed found something. It's called Brazil. Not convinced it'll work out, but you know what? It sounds exciting and sexy, and it's a lot easier to land on. Yeah, this is one of the things I kind of vaguely knew in the back of my mind, but I've just forgotten because it's been so long since I've actually played a campaign long enough to get to America too. Yeah, Brazil and like Florida and Cuba and whatever are relatively easy to land on. There's just like beaches everywhere. However, if you actually want to go down over into this territory, yeah, the various kind of territories that make up the actual Aztec Empire, there are some small problems. In particular, it is incredibly difficult to actually land. In fact, I think this is the only safe landing at all. So you've got to approach from that angle, which makes obviously it a lot more difficult to get through all this territory because it's all forested and etc, etc, etc. It's very difficult to actually fight your way through these territories because it involves slow progress through jungles, unless, of course, you're willing to actually wait to build flipping roads and whatever. So, yes, that's all of that. Now, have we actually got any new ships here? Oh, we've got ships close to being here. More ships arriving very, very soon indeed. However, I imagine we're probably safe to actually get most of this force back in the boat immediately. In fact, actually... I've never actually checked this. I'm going to work on the assumption there's no... There are mercenaries. Okay, I'd forgotten that. And mysteriously, they're a lot better than the actual troops we just took on. Native mercenaries. Attack 9, defense 6. I'd say we are going to buy absolutely all of them. And the reason we want to buy all of them is because they can actually keep an eye on this flipping town while we're naffing off and doing more exciting and sexy things. So just swap all them rounds. And yeah, because the town is so small, it's perfectly happy with just that force present. You back in the boat, and the boat meanwhile can start heading up north into Florida, where we need to find the town that controls the entirety of North America. The entirety of North America, marvellous. Apparently you can get over there, so that's good. We'll just start in that direction. I think it's over here somewhere. I forget where it is. It's been a while, damn it. But we've got our first territory. But you can see here, it's going to take a while for this thing to grow. In theory, if you want to, like, convert one of these places into a motte and bailey, of course, that means you'd be able to have, like, you know, Viking raiders and scouts coming up pretty quickly, which arguably can be pretty useful, but I'd like to kind of try and grow at least one of these settlements into a proper trading post as soon as possible. That would be kind of cool. Right, brand new turn, but on this ship that just arrived down here, I've got a nice little surprise for the local... Oh. Okay, didn't need as much of a surprise as I was expecting, to be honest. That wasn't the surprise. The surprise was I brought literally all the agents in the world.
Yes.
I've brought so many agents. I just wanted to see what was going on, but as it turns out, I don't think I needed actually all of these agents. I didn't actually need a merchant, a spy, a cardinal, an assassin, a different spy, a different assassin, and the guy I already sent out. Though on the plus side, these guys are putting a bit more effort in. So that is Fortaleza, which is, I'm going to be honest, my knowledge of Native American cultures is very poor. So I don't actually know exactly who these guys are or anything. So we're just going to go and conquer them instead. That will be fine. Though as I actually have all of these agents here, I may as well, you know, send them on a bit of a walk just to see what else we can find. I think it's just one territory down here. I think Brazil is like all one territory by itself. So actually, I'll send the boat round here, because it might be faster to get these guys back on the actual boat and ship them round to Fortaleza later. And yeah, similar sort of thing again. That's the downside of this part of the world. Though they do actually have their own unique architecture and everything, they also have a fairly limited roster. In some ways, but quite a few of them. And it's going to be nice to see a few more of them in action, which is lovely. So, we've found Brazil, and we can begin dealing with that. You guys head up here, and I believe around here... Oh, there it is, sorry. Apparently, I was the wrong side. It's over here somewhere. That's fine. It's Mikosuki. Don't know anything about those guys, but we'll just go and take them out too, because why not, eh? Meanwhile, Captain Olaf has stumbled across the second of the cities we want to take out here, a large city. But you can see what I mean here. Even though this is a large city, there's basically nothing here. Nothing here at all. So as a result, even if we take it over and it's a large city, it's gonna take us a while to get it built up to be able to repair or build anything. You're just stuck with what you've brought. And by the way, here are the proper armies. So here we are, Jaguar warriors, attack 15 with a charge bonus of 3, defense of 12, good morale and stamina. These guys are no flipping joke. And there's a lot of other fun stuff too, and really colourful stuff as well. It all looks really, really damn cool. At some point, they'll probably get really annoyed with my kind of Danish army, my Catalans just wandering around, but you know what? When it happens, it happens. They'll attack me and it's fine. Then we can actually see all of their proper unit stats and it'll be lovely. But yeah, I think you can see how like this whole area goes and why it's such a nightmare. Which is, yeah, you can literally only land at the north. Then you've got to take out this thing. You've got to walk through the jungle or wait for roads to be built. Then you've got to walk through this narrow mountain range. Another city. Then loop back on yourself through another mountain range and more jungle in order to get down to the final territory down here. Of course, their capital is buried way down over here. Like, once you take it, it's pretty well bloody secure from anyone else coming in, but it's a difficult final death march to actually take part in. Anyway, let's get our troops moving in the right direction, and soon the main armies should be arriving. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have actually noticed, while we actually go between the turns right now, the Aztecs aren't actually appearing. It's just going Denmark, and my unit's just kind of all moving south there. Go straight into the Papal States, and then back round to the rebels. The Aztecs haven't quite woken up yet. So we're kind of waiting for them to do that, and that kind of happens when you declare war on them, which should, I imagine, be occurring very, very soon indeed. And good news, the Caribbean has actually grown into the next tier of town as well, so we can start putting the basic infrastructure down. But yes, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time for it to grow. Actually, we'll be able to get it up to at least kind of a tier 2 town in the not too distant future. So then we can actually slap a port down, which will be nice. But yeah, the Caribbean Isles themselves are actually probably the least valuable of all the territories going. Like, it's actually kind of weird. Like, you'd actually, like, you know, expect Cuba to have, like, you know, some really good stuff on it. It doesn't actually have that much at all, really. So, bit of a shame, but never mind. Let's just stick a church down, because, yeah, all these territories start off 100% pagan. So, we should probably convert them, because sooner or later the Pope's going to get sniffy and ask us to do it anyway. anyway. And meanwhile, down in the south, it looks like we can actually have a bit of a nice, bigger attack over here. So go on then, let's head into Fortaleza and clear these guys out too. This time my army's a little bit more on the scruffy side. We've actually got no cannons at all with me on this occasion, so the game is saying this is going to be a bit of a walkover. Yeah, you know what? I think this is actually fine to be auto-resolved under the circumstances. Let's just get that sorted out, because we have seen pretty much that exact little village already taken care of. Now, do I want to... I'll try occupying it. Lower the tax rates. Okay, they're not desperately keen on this. That's fine. Let's just actually, you know, try converting it into a bigger settlement. Hopefully things will calm down when we can actually slap a church down. Though actually, we do have a priest here already. So Catholicism, in fact, actually I think we brought a cardinal with us. We've brought a cardinal to the New World. So on the plus side, yeah, that should work pretty well. They should be converted fairly quickly. What's the major problem here? Public order, religious unrest, unrest in general, distance. Distance to capital. That does make a bit of sense. Yes, we are quite a long way away from... Is it Vienna? Is Vienna the current capital? Where's the current capital? I think I actually moved it somewhere more over here to help out with the Far East. Okay, good point. Let's move it somewhere a bit more central and friendly to those guys. What's nice? What's actually nice? Marseille looks like that would actually work pretty well. There we are. Marseille can be the new capital for now. Let's just make sure I haven't, like, screwed up. Actually, this side of the empire should be fine and thrilled with it. This side of the empire might be... Cairo is a little bit more annoyed. Lower their taxes. Jeddah is... Oh, yeah, Jeddah exists. I sometimes forget Jeddah exists because it's kind of out of the way. Everyone else looks actually acceptable, though bear in mind we're probably still being affected by glory right now because of finishing off the Timurids, so it's possible after a while that might fade away. But there's actually a fair few castles over here. You guys can all have tax cuts to apologise for the fact that Marseille is now, like, more important than you. Sorry about that. Right, that looks like that actually hasn't made a big deal at all. How's that down here? Now you're at 65%, fine. So, as the unrest from the conquest actually goes down and Catholicism goes up, that shouldn't be a problem. And as the Catalans keep moving, yes indeed, these guys have actually proven to be quite useful scouts. There are quite a few units floating around. And we've actually got proper visibility of all of these guys. A prince, I apologise, I'm about to mispronounce this, Cuitlawak, the Profane, good name, good name. So yeah, we've also got these guys, we got these guys, so yep, they've also got attack 15, defense 12, so very similar to what we've seen already, but they actually frighten nearby infantry, so they're actually going to cause, yeah, a big little kind of morale drop around them, which is very cool. Aztec warriors, just a basic 10 and 10, nice solid guys, they'll do the job. Eagle warriors, 21 and 9 on this occasion. These guys have got a bit of an upgrade going on there, good morale, good stamina. Jaguar warriors, 15 and 12. The arrow warriors, very interesting little guys here. Specialized missile troops of the warrior cults in Aztec armies, armed with giant arrows used kind of like javelins. So kind of not named particularly well there. Melee attack 8, missile attack still 6, defense 11, which is pretty high for ranged troops. So just slightly bulky, decent little skirmishers. Aztec spearmen, they do actually have spearmen who can actually do the nice little kind of roundy spears outy McJibby, together with some basic Aztec archers. Probably their weakest point, to be honest. Defense of 8 is not bad for basic archers, to be honest, but with a melee attack of 8, again, not bad for archers. Unfortunately, they're archers, so, you know, you're really looking for range and missile attack. They don't have long range, and the missile attack is only 5. So these guys are not exactly spectacular, and also basic Aztec spear throwers. Same basic deal. Again, you got some skirmishers here, but unfortunately, missile attack's only 4, not armor piercing. So their strength is really in the infantry, and some of these guys hit pretty damn hard. I mean, good morale, good stamina, attack 15 with a charge bonus of 3. Nothing likes having those guys run into them. But bear in mind, very little in this army is armor piercing, which is kind of cool. Oh, intriguing. The Aztecs have started moving. They've woken up. They don't actually get their own shield on the thing, which is kind of odd, but they do seem to... Also, why are there 4 guys in flipping Tabby? And why is there rioting in Brazil? Guys, chill out. Seriously, it's fine. I'm going to lower your taxes. Now, any chance we've got some more? Yes, we do indeed have more native mercenaries. Well, that is just marvellous, because I feel like this army can probably do better elsewhere. So, you guys... back in here. Just quick swappy roundy, please. Lovely. Thank you. Oof. Auto-resolve in that battle gave me a few more casualties than I probably should have taken, but no matter. Now, who wants to actually come in the boat with me? I don't think we need all these agents. I think we'll leave the Cardinal here, to be honest. Let's leave 1 Cardinal here just to help with the conversion of this whole area. We definitely don't need assassins, however. You guys can get in there. 1 spy can also join... Spy? Spy, get in the boat. But okay, just join that army and then get in the boat via the army. That's fine too. Then you've got to... Okay, seriously, what's wrong with you guys? Get in the damn boat. Thank you. Lovely. So yeah, I'm going to take all of my spies and assassins, including these 3 triplets right here. No, I'm sorry, this guy's not quite a triplet. In fact, actually, are any of them? Ooh.
Yes.
Are you the same guy as this guy? I think this guy's got a bit more of a smile. Am I just imagining that? Or does this guy look like he's smiling and this guy look a bit more sad? Because this guy doesn't like being a spy, but this guy apparently does. Right, well, guys, we're going north. Luckily, we know where we're going now. We want to go up here. It's going to take you a while to get there, but you might be able to provide reinforcements in the end. I'm going to leave 1 spy here just to keep an eye on the territory, and 1 merchant, because, yes, the merchants can make good money. I mean, see, this guy's actually just sitting on gold. He can make a little bit more money, potentially going in. Actually, he couldn't, which is kind of surprising. He's making already 349 just from this gold right here, and he's 1 out of 10. Like, that is how much flipping money a merchant can make if he's 10 out of 10. This guy's 1 out of 10, and he's already flipping 349 a turn. Just imagine what he can actually get at 10 out of 10. It's ridiculous. Part of the reason is generally, like, every gold supply around here is double gold. So there's gold here and there's also gold here. And he's kind of trading both simultaneously, kind of. There's also chocolate around here. I don't think you can actually get to it. I need to actually send a boat to actually deliver him round the chocolate. But the chocolate's only actually worth 197. So if you've only got 1 merchant, go for the gold. But just, like, look at this place. It's got dyes, it's got iron, it's got double gold, it's got chocolate. There's tin there as well. When this place actually gets up a port and starts trading, it's worth a lot. And 1 more needs to go down as well. I think we can happily, yeah, give up 36 men to just quickly walk through this area. And the map gets filled out very, very nicely indeed. Also, apparently the Council of Nobles wanted me to do that. So they've given me, I don't need more money. Seriously, I want less money. I'm trying to spend it as fast as I bloody can. And as a new turn dawns, the Caribbean is ready to be upgraded. That is, yeah, getting up to at least a tier 2 settlement pretty quickly. And I believe, actually, our first actual army has made landfall inside Aztec territory. And if we just basically stand round over here, we can pretty much just keep an eye on them to make sure that they're not going to come and reinforce. If they try, well, it's slow going for them through the jungles, even though they're the locals. It's not exactly the fastest going for those guys. Though bear in mind, I do think they do actually get some little kind of movement bonuses. You can see there that he can move quite a long way through the jungle, whereas we're a bit on the slower side. So they can move around a lot faster, but with my guy in the way, we'll hopefully slow them down enough that they won't be able to get over to Tlaxcala in time to actually deal with it in terms of saving the damn place. Oh, hello! What's this? My goodness, have these guys decided they want to attack? I think they have. And that means actually we get to see what these guys even look like. So we've got ourselves, they're all the profane. They're all just the profane. They're drunken heathens. I feel like this, in all fairness, is us as Danish people deciding to put our interpretation of their characters rather than their own. This man's drinking has become a problem, and he now regularly makes a royal arse of himself. Oh, but he's a skilled bureaucrat, and he's smart, so he's quite good. Oh, here we are, utterly profane. So offensive is this man's dialogue that nobody truly takes anything he says seriously at all. They are desperate to leave his company. Plus 4 morale for all troops on the battlefield. Marvellous. So basically everyone the profane gets massive morale bonuses, admittedly at the cost of some piety and loyalty and authority, but he doesn't need to worry about piety. Meanwhile, he also gets tons of dread, meaning my troops are going to be low on the old morale themselves. That's good. Yeah, generally they've actually got some good traits. So reconnaissance expert, which is excellent. He's the heir apparent. And yes, there are some big armies coming in. Go on then. Let's just see it in action. The poor, poor bastard Catalans. They're not going to have fun with this. And tragically, no hills or anything we can hide on. Maybe there's like a tiny bit of high ground or something. It's not much. It's not much. But yeah, it's nice and distinctive. There's even, like, you know, unique plants that you don't find anywhere else in this part of the world, which is really, really damn cool. Yeah, you know what? We'll just draw up here and just sort of hope. Here come the Aztecs, by the way.
They hope to make up in numbers what they lack in skill.
I'm gonna be honest, they've got plenty of skill. It's such a cool-looking faction, by the way. They've all just got, you know, really cool, colourful outfits, and their banners are really cool. It's just a great little faction in general. They're so fun, the Aztecs. Like, that's what I really like about Medieval 2. Like, it basically said, you know what? Our end game's gonna be fun. From the east, we're gonna have guys who have got elephants with cannons mounted on the top, and over in the west, the Aztecs are gonna show up, and they're all gonna be really nice and colourful, and it's gonna be great. Yes, and here's something worth noting about the Aztecs. They are unique in terms of one particular mechanic, which is they actually have their general's bodyguards being completely dismounted. They don't get any cavalry whatsoever. So instead, they just actually have their general. There's their general in a fabulous headdress, it must be said. Yeah, instead, their actual guys are just down on the ground. And those are just elite kind of shock infantry troops, which is really cool. In later Total War games, of course, there would be some factions who would actually get dismounted generals. Or if they actually want to, generals' bodyguards were able to dismount. But no, this was actually, I think, the first time in the franchise we actually had a general's bodyguard that was not cavalry-y, which is kind of cool if I'm remembering correctly. And by the way, here come all of these guys. You know what? Maybe guys just stand your ground. In fact, actually, why are you not stopping to fight? I don't know why they're actually not already kind of... Oh, well, they are actually stopping. It's just the other guys coming in. Well, you know what? We're going to be able to get in a few light taps. So, Catalans, prepare to toss in your actual little kind of skirmishy javelin things against their arrow throwers. Because, you know, you guys are actually pretty resistant. Apparently they're eager. Which, you know what, due respect for a guy who's standing in this position right now and decided, you know what? I'm fresh, I'm eager. I think today's just going to be a good day for me. Keep tossing the javelins, by the way. You've only got so long to keep doing it. Oh, in come the Jaguar warriors, by the way. Those guys hurt. You're going to be a bit screwed when they show up. So, do as much damage as you can. Due respect to you, you've managed to do 1%. Oh, in come the Eagle warriors. Oh, they're also bad. They've got great big sticks. And in comes the battery. Yeah, they're shaken. I can believe it. Though actually, due respect, one of them's gone down. Probably because his own lad shot him in the back, to be honest. And I think they've decided to naff off. Honestly, understandable. Understandable. So we're just going to basically scuttle backwards. And now, unfortunately, we've actually lost visibility of... Oh, blimey, you really scuttled, didn't you? Right, so at this point, something's going on here. Luckily, by the way, I brought a lot of agents with me in this army too. So we do still have some good visibility about what's going on here. So deploy the spy, make sure they're not pursuing too quickly. In fact, just deploy all the agents, otherwise I'll forget they're here. You just go and like chill out next to that there gold in a second. I must have some... Oh, apparently I brought 2 agents. Well, that's bloody good of me. Do I have the tobacco? Yes, go and chill out next to this tobacco. Tobacco worth 394. Why are you not... Trade the tobacco. Trade the tobacco. Are you trading it now? There you go. Now you trade tobacco. 394 when he's 2 out of 10 and there isn't a port. Okay, that's going to get a lot higher later. Where are the other agents, by the way? We've got more spies. So just deploy the other spies. I brought a lot of agents with me, and actually a 3rd spy. I may have brought too many spies and not enough assassins. Assassins would be good right now. By the way, there might actually hopefully be assassins on this boat, right? Because I've brought more things. Yeah, more things are here. So we've got... No, that's just more merchants. Please tell me that last guy's actually an assassin. No, I just brought 4 spies. May have been a bit much, to be honest, but that's fine. Hopefully, you guys got... No, you haven't got an assassin. You haven't got an assassin. You might have an assassin. No, that's just more merchants. That's just 2 more... Okay, I may have forgotten to bring assassins. So, brand new turn. Deploy the scouts. Oh. So, I think the Aztecs are coming. I think the Aztecs have decided they actually would like to come at this point, which makes it extremely lucky that I decided to bring along some nice cannons, because it means we can get in here nice and easy. We have got ourselves, yep, here, a brand new bird we've never seen before, a high temple, which basically doesn't actually have a description. I can't remember whether it's supposed to have one. Quite frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if when this game was being playtested, like, they generally didn't really play this bit very often. Because, yeah, in playtesting, you very often have to, like, start over and over again. So the late game stuff sometimes gets a bit overlooked. And in this case, I can believe there might just not be a description. Basically, it's just a religious building, but for paganism. So yeah, religious conversion bonus to paganism, public order bonus due to law, and these guys just have large stone walls, but still, let's wrap up today by actually seeing for the very first time a proper big Aztec city, and I think for some of you this might be literally the first time you've ever seen this, even if you're actually not a regular player of Medieval 2 Total War. Also, before we do go in, worth noting, yeah, the mercenaries here are not kidding around. There's a lot of them. There's an awful lot of mercenaries, and they're actually pretty cheap. Like 300 gold to recruit up front, 155 upkeep, but arguably of more interest, these guys, the Tlaxcalans, they have, yeah, attack 9, defensive 10, good stamina, only 125 upkeep. These guys are actually pretty darn decent. In fact, actually, it's worth me bringing along a couple of them, just because the troops I've actually got here are going to be, yeah, they're going to be precious to me. So, therefore, I'd rather keep these guys as safe as possible. So, as a result, Free Company Men-at-Arms, you just go and stand right there for a minute, and you guys come and join me, if you'd be so kind. And also, I think I've just picked up a mercenary captain. Right, let's go and investigate what these cities look so damn cool, by the way. It's been a long time since I've seen one in person, but I remember they look really, really damn cool. So we've got this guy right here. He's just got his dismounted bodyguard with him. Anything major for you? Honestly, nothing major. An embezzler, apparently. Dear, oh dear. Then I'm doing these people a favour, aren't I? Oh my. Can we actually see what the city's population is? 15,000. We might well have to do some level of culling. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Ah, wait. I have just remembered something, which is there are two different ways of doing the Aztec cities inside Medieval 2 Total War, which is in the base game, they're actually just a kind of a reskinned, recoloured Middle Eastern one. Instead, it's kind of like it's a lot more green, it's a lot more white. It's still kind of striking and cool, and especially when there's bright sunlight, it's really kind of bright, because there's supposed to be like, I suppose this is like supposed to be like sand everywhere, which is pretty cool. But it is still kind of, you know, clearly identifiable as a Middle Eastern reskin. However, in the DLC, Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms, that's where they actually put the effort in and made the actual Aztec cities look utterly incredible and ridiculous. So don't you worry, we will most definitely be seeing that before this series is done. I will just kind of temporarily nip into Total War Kingdoms just for the sake of actually showing that off, because the Aztec cities and that look absolutely amazing. As it is, they look fine, but in all fairness, they look pretty much like normal cities, really. Anyway, let's go get ourselves one of those normal cities, why don't we? Anyway, with some more cool, unique music here. Yep, this guy just needs to be taken down with his bodyguard of heavy infantry. I think I know exactly how we're going to do that, which is we're going to send some light infantry running over to here at the same time as I send my actual proper damage dealers, the gunners, forward. Because these guys should totally draw the attention of these guys. Come on, you want to charge in? Want to charge in? I bet you're interested in charging in. And then you guys just get round the back over here. And these guys are at this point ready to go. You guys just a bit further forward. And I'd say just loop in on them. They're not taking the bait quite so easily this time, but in you go, I would say, and in you guys go over here, and forward you guys go. You know what? If you want to charge these guys, you're welcome to charge those guys. Basically, you guys can just chill out together, and I will just get my gunners into position, please. Just get my gunners over to here. Get my gunners over to here. Both of you run if you'd be so kind. And then, lads, as soon as these guys are engaged, you guys are steady for the time being. In fact, actually, they're doing a surprisingly competent job. The bodyguard is losing strength fast. Aztec bodyguards are not exactly spectacular. And just begin Operation Shooting. Never mind, those guys have done the job for me. Begin shooting anyway. Just shoot anyway. They're just mercenaries. It's fine. So, begin firing. That was a fairly flimsy bit of firing there. Anyone want to do some better firing? Yep. Yes, there we go. That's proper a big bang. So now this rank. And prepare. Fall back and start. I love the animation of it. How they do actually have like proper ranks. And then fire in. Those guys down to... What are you down to at the minute? You guys down to 10 and falling fast. These guys... Are you even firing? I feel like you're not. I feel like you're not bothering. Honestly, I think the gunners at this point can just basically start walking away. In all fairness, the mercenaries we bought just did it by themselves. They did very well indeed. Well done, lads. Well done. You've officially handed over one of the Aztec cities to the Danish. So, down he goes with his lovely, lovely headdress. Yeah, it is a bit disappointing. I'd forgotten and got it the wrong way around. That, yeah, you've got this little kind of thing here that looks like it should be a massive temple city with pyramids. And that is how it is in Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms, which we will show off. But in the base game, yeah, not quite so much. Now, these guys are... Yeah, population's falling. Loyalty's potential for revolt. Sorry, guys. We kind of need to sort that out. So... All of a sudden, we've just got ourselves some nice Mesoamerican. Doesn't know that Mesoamerican, just looks Middle Eastern with a bit of a white colour scheme on it. All of a sudden, we've got a whole bunch of stuff we could build as a priority. And the Aztecs are... They're coming. I don't think they can quite make it here. No, they can't quite make it this turn. So I've got one turn of building I can actually do. Now, I could jump straight up to ballista towers. That would be of interest, though I feel like roads, just some basic dirt roads that might actually help them. I need to build those soon. Maybe not quite yet. Let's focus on the ballista towers. Get the ballista towers in. Luckily, these mercenaries can be retrained. And you notice, of course, yeah, this is a city where the only thing I can actually build is the town militia that I can get off the large stone walls. Everything else I need to build from scratch. So it's going to be a while before we can do any proper retraining here. Meanwhile, as for my merchants, this guy who's straight up to 4 out of 10, luckily, just because he happened to be born with a couple of good traits, he's trading the gold here for 700 florins a turn. 700 a turn. That could maintain like a third of an army by itself. It's ridiculous. Yes. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I would say that is enough for now. We have managed to make it over to this part of the world. We've managed to take over Brazil, Cuba, Florida, and indeed officially, according to the game, the entirety of North America. We just basically moved in and knocked over one village, and as a result, North America belongs to us. Yeah, this is probably why the Medieval 2 Kingdoms America's campaign exists. They probably went back and thought, you know what, we could have put more effort into this. And they really did go on to, which is marvellous. But yes, I'd say we will hold things off there for now. We own a significant part of the New World, but there are now 2 cities standing in our way, and the Aztecs are coming. They're very cool. Their armies are extremely really cool and high. Ooh, Coyote Priest. We haven't even seen those guys yet. Yes. Once again, chanting for inspiring nearby troops. Frighten nearby infantry. Good morale. Excellent stamina. Attack of 15. Defense of 12. Very, very good indeed. However, a little bit let down by the fact there's only 60 soldiers inside that entire unit right there. But yeah, this is definitely the unit I think we ran into previously because we've done a bit of damage to it before. That is what the actual Catalans managed to do. Also, you feeling okay? This guy's just feeling a bit shy around the Aztecs, I think. Yes, we've got plenty of Aztecs coming in. We're going to have to fight those bastards off. We shall see how that goes. But we've got reinforcements piling in too. We have got reinforcements piling in as quick as we can. So we are going to have ourselves some big, big battles coming up very, very soon indeed. In fact, would you believe right about now, everyone's shown up and suddenly it's a party. So I would say, potentially, next time might even be the grand finale. I don't know. The war against the Aztecs will not be a long war, but it will be a very fun war, because the Aztecs have hilariously good fun armies, and we might just have a really massive scrap to decide the ownership of America once and for all. We shall see. I do not foresee that being a long war in the slightest. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. This has been Medieval 2 Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Oh no! Oh dear! America's decided they do not like us! Just want to finish off China. I can die happily. Well, not happily because there's nuclear fire involved, but moderately happily. There we go! I've just started... Oh god. The Earth was fun, wasn't it? We can all agree the Earth was great.